Welcome to the next module on multi-why. It's one of the key modules in sub-modules in analyze. So analysis, if it is meant to understand what the problem is, this thinking tool will give you the root cause of what the real problem is. Okay, so it's a very simple tool where you question the basic premise multiple number of times, and this was popularized in the 70s by Toyota as 5 whys. So 5 whys was a shop floor technique which could be applied on any problem and multiple number of times. So one of the advantages of this multi-why technique is it can be used for any domain, very quick to learn, which is what you will see. Uh, Quick to learn doesn't mean easy to apply. Okay, so you will need some domain expertise also. So I want to explain multi-why with an example because that's the best way to learn this application, right? So this case is about this lady, a friend of mine, who was heading towards the airport, and she had a flight that she had to take. However, she was very anxious. She found it very uneasy to travel in this car that she was riding. So let's apply this. Why was she anxious to ride in this car? Well, it turns out that it's not clear whether she would reach the airport on time or not, given all the procedures. After that, she had no idea whether she would reach there on time or not. Okay, so that's the answer to that. Now the multi-why works like this: that you take the answer and apply a why on that. Okay, so why wasn't she sure whether she would reach there on time or not? The answer is because she got the cab late, right? So the cab came late to her home to pick her up. Now, uh, now you can see where it's going. Now that's the answer. Apply the why again, get the answer again, right? So I asked, why did the cab arrive late? Well, the cab arrived late because the cab sharing service, the cab providing service, uh, took a long while for her, even though she had quite some time, took a long while to assign her a cab, right? So that's the reason for why the cab came late. And then the question is, why did the cab company take such a long time to assign one cab for my friend? So the answer is, well, some cabs were reluctant to take this ride because it was not profitable for them. So great, we found the root cause. Well, we can also go deeper if you want. Why isn't that so profitable for the cab driver to take the cab up, and so on and so forth. So that's how it works, right? So you keep getting the answers, applying the why again, and then you get the answer to that and apply the why again, and you keep drilling deeper and deeper. Now, how is this last answer related to the anxiety of my friend? Why? How does that going to help? Is one of the questions that I often get asked. So the answer is very simple. You found out the root cause if you solve it at this level, at the profitability of the cab level, and if you are in a cab company and you can make that difference, you should stop it at that level and examine whether how can we change this, how can we make it a win-win scenario. Okay, so you can convert this into a how might we question and then move on. Okay, this is how I do. So if you solve it at this level, the advantage is you solve it at the higher levels also. So we started with the anxiety, then we saw the time stuff, and then they came late, and then comes down to profitability. Okay, so if you can solve the profitability for the driver, then you also solve the customer's idea of reaching there on time. So that's going to be the big advantage of doing the root cause. Okay, now the root cause has again, from frequently asked questions in my workshops and classes, is where do we stop? Okay, there are so many levels, 4, 5, 6 level. Okay, so where do we stop is a great question. So some tips for you to work with in multi-why is stop at a level where you can take some action. It's within your skill set. Okay, if you're a legal person, then you can go reach up to your level, whether it reaches up to the law making level, or if you're a chemist, or if you're a physicist, you're an app provider, app designer. So at your level, what is the difference you can make? Okay, so stop at that level. Okay, the sphere of influence, what you can influence on the problem, is what where you need to be stopping at. Okay, so keep that in mind. There are other tips also, like for example, there could be a natural limit, there could be a chemical limit, physical limit, whatever. So all these natural limits can actually also help you stop your analysis. So I can give you many more examples, but it's great if you take any simple question. If you want to pause and take something, look around yourself and pause and see what is it that I'm curious about, where is it that I can apply multi-whys. So once you start doing that, it becomes a practice and becomes easier. Okay, so that's what I would like to tell you in this multi-why case.